Welcome to our revision series. Okay, so we are going to be revising questions on quadratic equations. Okay, so these are advanced and they contain word problems. Okay, so by the end of this video, I'm sure you're going to be understanding quadratic equations. Okay, so the first equation, the first question, our question one was on this equation. It states that given 12x is equals to x squared. Solve for x. Okay, so you're going to solve this. Then you are going to see, hence or otherwise, determine the values of p if p minus and this function is given. So we are going to use the hence here. So this is the easier one. Okay, I'm sure. Then you're going to leave our answer in set form. Then here we're going to solve for x if given this. Okay, and you're going to round to two decimal places. Okay, and the next thing is we're going to solve for x here again. And we are going to use this solution from this question to determine the value of y in this equation. Then we are going to go on this word problem, which is a race. A race requires an athlete to run 10 kilometers, and we are going to do something on Tendai, x kilometers per hour. Okay, it was supposed to be hour here. Sorry for that. Then here he cycles it, and we are going to use all this information to find the time he takes and calculate this speed. Okay, so this is this. Okay, so make sure you subscribe so that when we do another revision on another topic which is important, you won't miss it. Okay, so let's go on and see how do we solve each one of these questions. You can take a screenshot here so that you refer to this when we are working out. Okay, let's go on to our first question. It says that given 12x is equals to x squared. Okay, so let's write down 12x is equals to x squared. Okay, the first question is requiring us to solve for x. Okay, so to solve for x for this, when you see this one is squared, it's a quadratic. So make sure that you treat it as a quadratic. The other guys, they just cancel out the x here and leave another. Okay, so we're going to miss another answer. It is going to be called a missed solution. Okay, so the first one is we're going to say we're going to put all this in one side. So it's going to become x squared minus 12x is equals to 0. Okay, so after that, we have to factor out x here. Then it becomes x minus 12. Okay, is equals to 0. Okay, so make sure you don't cancel out here. You just do this factorization. Okay, so your answer is going to be x is equals to 0 or it's going to become 12. Okay, so this is this. Okay, so as easy as that. Next, we have this question is just saying that hence or otherwise determine the value of p if this. Okay, so you can see that this function is very identical to this one. Okay, so we're just going to do it simple. Okay, so let's go on and do this. So it's going to become, it is written p squared minus 1 squared is equals to 12 p squared minus 1. Okay, so here you can see that p squared minus 1 is being treated as x. Okay, so if you see these functions, the similarities between them is just we have changed x to become p squared minus 1. This is the only difference. We have changed x to become p squared minus 1. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to say p squared minus 1 is equals to x. Okay, so this is it. We only changed one thing. Okay, so we're going to take x values and put them here. Okay, so the first thing is we are going to say p squared minus 1 is equals to 0. Then in this case, we're going to get p squared is equals to 1. This means that p is equals plus or minus 1. Okay, so this is the first solution. P is equals to plus or minus 1. Then the next, we are going to say p squared minus 1 is equals to 12. Okay, so in this case, we're going to get p squared is equals to 13. Okay, then after that, we are going to say p is equals to plus or minus root 13. Okay, so these are our answers. We can see that we have our answers. P is equals to minus 1, 1, minus root 13, and root 13. Okay, so these are answers of P. Okay, so it's easy as that. We have successfully solved this one. Okay, so this was that on this question. Just do this. Make sure the only concept you have to master here is don't miss a solution here, and you just have to find the similarities and solve it. Let's go to our next question. Our next question is saying that 5x plus 7x minus 2. Okay, so we are supposed to solve for x on this equation. Okay, so and you are supposed to round off to 2 decimal places. Okay, so when you see a quadratic equation like this, and when especially when it says when the rounding is said about, you just have to use the quadratic formula. Okay, so please make sure you remember this formula. This formula is x is equals to minus b plus or minus root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Okay, so this is it. Okay, so in this case, this formula was derived when the equation was ax squared plus bx plus c. Okay, so you're going to is equals to 0. Okay, so you're going to take each term, okay, and comparing to it. Okay, now if you compare this equation to this, you can see that our a is equals to 5, right? And our b is equals to 7, and our c is equals to minus 2. Okay, so we're just going to substitute this equation here. Okay, so our minus b is going to be x is going to be minus 7 plus or minus then 7 squared minus 4, a is 5, c is minus 2, okay, then over 2, a is 5. Okay, so as easy as that. So now we're just going to solve minus 7 plus or minus root. Here you can see that we have 49 here, and here we are going to say 4 multiplied by 5, we are going to get 20. 20 multiplied by 2, it's going to be 40. Okay, so this means that our answer is going to, and negative is going to be positive. Okay, so it's going to become plus 40. Then over here 2 times 5 is going to become 10. Okay, so our answer is going to become minus 7 plus root. Here 49 plus 40, we're going to get 89 over 10, or minus 7 minus root 89 over 10. Okay, so we're going to punch this on calculator. We're going to use our calculator to solve this and round to 2 decimal places. Okay, so this means that our answer for our first answer is going to become 0.24. Okay, so if we round to 2 decimal places, we're going to get this answer. Then if we work out the next one, we're going to get our answer is minus 1, comma 1.64. Okay, so these are answers. Okay, so the only trick here, just remember this formula, then solve like this. Then remember this substitution, then solve like this. Let's go on to our next question. Our next question says that solve for x if root of x plus 6 is equals to x. Okay, so we're going to solve this. Okay, so the first thing, let's write this. Root of x plus 6 is equals to x. Okay, so the first thing we are going to do here, we are going to, if you see a root here, both sides, we just have to square both sides. Okay, so we are going to put square here, then we square here. Okay, so this is the easy way of dealing with roots. You square this side. Okay, so when you see that root and squared are going to cancel out, so it's going to become x plus 6, then this side is going to become x squared. Okay, so simplifying this quadratic equation, we're going to get x minus x squared minus x minus 6 is equals to 0. Okay, so this one becomes our quadratic equation. Now our duty is just to write to solve it. Okay, so how do we solve this? We just do sum and product. Okay, so our sum should be minus 1 and our product should be minus 6. Okay, so you just have to use the factors of 6. In this case, we're going to use 3 and 2. Okay, so here we just have to say minus 3 plus 2. If we multiply this, we're going to get 6. And if we add them, we're going to get this one. Okay, so now we just have to say x squared minus 3 plus 2 minus 3x plus 2x minus 6, okay, is equals to 0. Okay, now we just have to factorize this. It becomes x minus 3. Okay, if we factor out x, then here if we factor out 2, we're going to get x minus 3. Okay, so now our answer, we're just going to group this. It becomes x plus 2. Then here it's going to become x minus 3 is equals to 0. Okay, so this means that x is equals to minus 2 or x is equals to 3. Okay, so this becomes our answer. Okay, every time when you square both sides here, there is an answer which is called an extraneous. Okay, an extraneous answer. Okay, when you square both sides, whenever you square both sides on an equation, you have to test your answers this side. Okay, please remember this. When you square both sides, you have to test your answers. You might get an extraneous answer or not. Okay, so you have to test this method. Okay, so the first thing, let's test -2. Let's say root of -2 plus 6 must be equals to -2. Okay, we are substituting x here. Here we can see that here we're going to get 4 is equals to -2. Here we can now see that 2 is not equal to -2. Okay, so this means that this is an extraneous and not valid. Okay, so this is a simple way that is telling us that this is not the answer. Okay, so we cancel out this. So we're going to test this one again. We're going to say root 3 plus 6 must be equal to 3. Okay, here we can see that is 3 plus 6. 3 plus 6 is 9. 9, so root 9 is going to become 3 is equals to 3. Okay, so this means that our answer is valid. Okay, so this means that our answer of value of x is only 3. Okay, this -2 is not valid because it's an extraneous answer. Okay, make sure you master this, you don't miss it. Okay, so our answer here is going to become x is equals to 3. Okay, here for question it says that use the solution of x in question 1, 3 to determine the value of y. Okay, so of which y, root of y plus 1 is equals to y minus 5. Okay, so we're going to use pattern recognition here, and you are going to use some skills which you should develop by practicing maths very well. Okay, so let's write our equation, which is x plus 6 is equals to x. Okay, so you can see that here we have a value here x at this side, and we have a root this side. Okay, so let's try to make sure these equations they become the same or they match somewhere. Okay, so let's substitute this value this part is equals to z. Let's use our z variable here. Okay, so let's say z is equals to y minus 5. Okay, so that it can match here this side. Okay, so this means that our y becomes z plus 5. Okay, we just made sure that we have a one variable to this side. Okay, so after that, let's go on and substitute them to this equation. Okay, so we're going to substitute y is equals to z plus 5 and y minus 5 is equals to z. Okay, so let's go on here. So this means that we're going to get y here, we're going to get z plus 5. Yeah, then we're going to see plus 1, then equals to, then y minus 5, we said that it's equals to z. Okay, so it's equals to z. Okay, so this is going to give us an equation which is like this: z plus 5 plus 1 is going to become 6 is equals to z. Okay, so now we can see that this one is very similar to this one. Okay, it's very similar. Okay, so now we just have to use our value of x. Okay, so we said that x should be 3 here. Okay, so this means that z should be 3 here. Okay, so we're going to use z as 3. Okay, so this means that our y value is going to become here. We're going to use this one. Our y value is going to become 3 plus 5. Okay, so this means that y is equals to 8. Okay, as it says that. So this is simple. We just tried to make it the same by substituting z to this part. Then after that, we substituted z and we saw that, oh, it is the very same. Okay, so this means that we are going to get z as 3 here. So we just made z 3 and we found our value y. Let's go on to the next question. The next question states that a race requires an athlete to run 10 kilometers and cycle 50 kilometers. The entire runs at a speed of x kilometers per hour. Okay, supposed to be hour here. And it cycles at a distance of x plus 31 kilometers per hour. He takes 10 over x for the 10-kilometer run. Then the other thing is express the time he takes for a 50-kilometer cycle in terms of x. Okay, so this is easy. What we're going to do is we're just going to say we have our distance, which is 50 kilometers, and we have cycling speed. Our cycling speed here, you see, is x plus 31. Okay, so now we just have to find our time. Okay, so time is equals to distance over speed, right? Okay, so this means that we are going to get 50 over x plus 31. as a function. Okay, so this is it. We have expressed the time he is going to take. Okay, so our time is 50 over x plus 31. The next step is says that calculate the speed correct to two decimal places at which he must run to complete the entire race in 2 hours. Okay, so what do we have here? The first one we have a running speed. Okay, so running speed is x. Okay, so this is what we're going to find. This is what is required here. The speed at which he must run. Okay, so this is required. Okay, so then we have running time in terms of x, which is 10 over x. Then we have we have cycling speed as x plus 31. Then we have cycling time as equals to cycling time is equals to 50 over x plus 31. Okay, we have found this on this in the previous chapter. Okay, so now our duty is just to make sure that this running time and this cycling time becomes 2 hours. Okay, so I'm just going to say 10 over x plus 50 over x plus 31 should give us 2 hours. Okay, so it is that now we just have to simplify. Okay, our simplification is going to go like this. If you have two fractions here, if you want to simplify them better, you just have to say x plus 3. Okay, then you just multiply this denominator, just multiply this, then you multiply this and this, then put it here. So it becomes 10 times x plus 3. Then we multiply this and this, it becomes plus 50x is going to become 2. Okay, so after that, we're just going to get 10x plus 30. Okay, this is 31. Okay, remember this is 31. This is 31. So it's going to become 310. It's going 310. Okay, then here it's going to become plus 50x. Then cross multiplying here, we're going to get 2x plus x plus 3. Okay, so after that, we're just going to get here we have 60x, so we're going to get 310 plus 60x is going to become 2x squared plus 6x. Okay, let's hope you understood up to here. If you don't, please pause and make sure you do these calculations slowly. Then here we just have to. Okay, here is 31 again. Okay, I'm sorry. Here is 31 again. So we're going to get 62 62x. Okay, so now our duty is just to keep this fraction quadratic. So this means that is going to become 2x squared. 2x squared, if you put this in this side, it's going to become plus 2x plus 310 is equals to 0. Okay, so I've done when I solved this quadratic equation like this, you just use the quadratic formula. X is equals to minus b plus or minus root b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Okay, so this is it. Using this formula. Okay, remember this 310 is going to become negative. Remember it's going to become negative here. So we're going to get our answer x as 11.96. Okay, to two decimal places. Okay, 11.96 kilometers per hour. Okay, so this was that on this question. So we have successfully finished this question. So we are going to bring a question and solve it as you see, step by step, giving you tips on exams. So make sure you're subscribed, you don't miss anything, so that you can ace your exams and make sure you become an A student.